So I suppose just to give a bit of insight to the people that are listening, Mike, I suppose the aim of or the reason that we started this podcast, what, in your own words?
Yeah, well, me and you follow a bit of basketball, and we saw there was a bit of niche in the basketball industry that quite a few of the players got together and created their own podcast, giving an insight to fans and the like around more players' personalities and maybe a bit behind what the media doesn't get access to. Like, they don't sort of get to have that casual sit down. It's always quite formal questions and stuff like that. So our aim was probably just to get a couple players along or a player along, chat to him, find out a bit what makes him tick, a bit about his upbringing or whatever, and a bit of banter between a few mates around a beer or a nice green tea, if that's the way you are.
Yeah, I guess through our experiences in front of the media and stuff, I've found a lot of players in particular will almost put on a different voice or almost different persona when they've got a camera in front of them and potentially, you know, like a media personality interviewing them compared to the sort of banter that we have in the changing rooms. And I guess from my point of view, I want to get that changing room banter. No, I suppose not all of it aired, because some of it's probably just for our ears only, but certainly give people an insight into what our true personalities are like. With that, we've got to introduce our first guest. We've got the one and only Damian McKenzie. Damien, how are you, mate?
How are? Yeah, very well. Thanks for having me in.
No, good to have you on, mate. You're a young superstar at the moment, so thanks for taking the time out of your busy day. I know you've just come off the golf course, so I really appreciate you giving us your time. How'd you go at St Andrews today?
Very average, to be fair. I pulled pin 4 holes to go.
Sorry, mate.
Just to be here, obviously this is a big part of my calendar has been 3 o'clock turn up at Mr. Weber's bachelor pad. So it's great to be here, and yeah, the golf wasn't so flash. So. Well,
interesting that you bring up the bachelor's pad, Big Jim. You're a single man, aren't you?
I am, yes.
So bachelor's lifestyle for you. I mean, obviously you've got you own a house, you drive a Mustang. You're probably every girl's dream at the moment in New Zealand. So, one, why are you single? And two, what's your dream girl look like?
Look, Webby, I'm really focused on my footy at the moment. And look, I just don't need those distractions at this time in my life. But obviously, if there's the lucky one out there, or the one I'm looking for, it might pop up one day. Hopefully, one day at least. Hopefully, before I get to Beaver's age. But
you're talking there. You said the one. What's sort of like 5 qualities, sort of 5 things maybe that you tick that ticks the box.
Yeah, you always look at maybe looks first, but you got to have a good personality, I think.
Okay.
Someone you can relate to, someone who's very understanding. Obviously, footy, we're away quite often, so in terms of that, it's can be tough at times. So not that I've had to experience it of you. So yeah, finding the one that's understanding of what you're doing, has the same sort of passions as you, looks good features,
okay,
and yeah. Hopefully she pops up one day. Sure she will.
Well, no doubt she will, man. I'd say probably you're like the quintessential, what the quintessential Kiwi girls after. You'd be like the Cleo Bachelor sort of scenario, wouldn't you? Pull up in your Mustang, go out for a nice dinner out.
I was thinking Bachelor of the Year type material. I'm surprised a woman's day or a woman's weekly hasn't got around you yet. You had a few requests yet?
No requests of yet.
Okay.
No women's mags.
Well, I've just had a wee thought actually. Maybe we could run a wee competition, like win a date with Jim.
Yeah, break that.
So, ladies, if you're out there and you're keen to get on a date with Damian McKenzie, maybe write into us at codetrippingpod@gmail.com. Send us your best, maybe your best pickup line, or maybe what you.
I reckon your perfect date, and we'll get to Big Jim to try recreate that for you.
I reckon it's a real go.
There'll be a vetting process. Obviously, he'll have to go through, and it's on Big Jim's discretion. But I reckon that's an option.
It's a real go. This is a good early job.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, chuck it out there and see what happens.
I mean, I'm sure you've like we've mentioned, you're probably a Bachelor of the Year kind of candidate, Damien, and you have many people slide into your DMs.
And be honest.
Yeah, come on.
It's pretty empty. the old DM list at the moment.
Can we have a look?
fans.
Can we have a look?
Phone's flat. Nah, you get some interesting messages at times. Some very interesting messages, I must say, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's how you deal with them. Like, some of you can, really get on that front foot and just play straight, play in the V, and some of you just jump on the back foot every now and then.
Great answer.
Start hooking. Fair enough.
Leading on from the DMs, Jim, you have any, I suppose, not kind of like stalker stories or
Fangirls?
Yeah, fangirl type
Over
of setup.
Yeah, funny you mentioned that actually. Remember this one time about 2 years ago. My flatmate, actually shooter, Sean Stevenson, he was driving to Auckland and there was a car parked outside our house and he gives me a ring. He's sort of half an hour into his trip heading back up to Auckland. And he goes, look, there's a car that's followed me from home and it's just taking every move I make, like every turn I'm taking, it's following me. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, white Subaru, like white station wagon to be, and I go, okay, yeah, no worries. And then eventually she's turned off, but pretty much followed him all the way up to Auckland. And one day I was going to the supermarket and I backed out of the drive and didn't really take any notice, but sort of saw in the rear vision mirror this white station wagon parked on the other side of the road outside our house and driving along and nearly at the supermarket and look in the rear vision mirror and sure enough here's this car following me, still the same car. I've taken a left, she's taken a left. Pulled into the supermarket and I've looked around and I've lost it and I'm like, okay, no, that's alright. Parked up and hold the phone, white station wagon's right there in front of me. And then you had this girl sitting there in the car and you can only see her in the driver's seat and she's talking. I was thinking, you must have this, she's talking to herself, I don't know what's going on. So I walk up to the car and anyway, her mate's sitting on the ground hiding, obviously been following me. Like, what he's up to, you
confronted them.
Yeah, so look, I confronted them and said, this is odd.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you follow me? What are you following me for? They go, well, we're not following you. And clearly they had from my house to the supermarket and old mate's hiding on the ground. And sure enough, I asked for their names. Should have really taken a picture as well, so I could ask someone if they know these people. But yeah, it was quite odd.
Interesting.
Yeah, long story, but
And never seen again? You got
never seen again.
Confronting
I think the confrontation must have scared them off. But
Alright.
interesting.
Yeah, no, good
interesting
story.
reason, yeah.
Good story. Thanks for that, man.
No, sure.
Suppose we might as well ask you a footy question while you're here. So much has been talked about you transitioning from 15 to 10. How are you finding it early doors? We've obviously had our first game against Crusaders on the weekend. You've played a lot of 10 in the past, but 15's been your main position in the last couple of years. So the transition being alright. I mean, a lot's been made of it, but in your own words.
Yeah, it's I guess it's one of those things that's going to take a little bit of time, just getting used to. 15, where I've been playing the last couple of years, it's sort of licensed to do what you want, I guess, Brad, and playing outside yourself for the Waikato years where you were a loyal man and obviously money took over and you play a couple of odd excuses, you said you're going back there, but anyway. So yeah, I've had a bit of experience playing with yourself, mate, so that's helped me along the way, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting year and an exciting one. I think we've got a massive talented group at the Chiefs, so fingers crossed.
Obviously got your brother Swano, Marty, back in, so you can take him under your wing, or does he take you under his wing? What happens there?
Yeah, I'd take Swano under my wing. Should be the other way around, but like Swano, he's come along for the ride, so he's only got 2 more super franchises and he's ticked all of them off, so yeah, it's good to have him back.
It's good to have him back.
And yeah, he's living with me at the moment, so I'm doing a lot of third wheeling at the moment, to be fair, so it's probably good you chucked out that we message to your pod.
Maybe it could be a double date scenario.
Probably not, but that's
The whole family already?
Yeah, good point. Maybe not.
Would you consider you and Swano like a harmonious siblings growing up? Like you got along quite well, or was there a bit of like tension, like you sort of one up each other?
There was a lot of tension. When we were younger, was We're similar, I would say, but then some of our personalities a little bit different. He's got a very short fuse.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, and you probably know that obviously. And numerous occasions, you know, you might do something when we were younger. We had a lot of dust ups, and he'd always get the last say. Whether, like I was always said to people, even if I knocked him out or he spent the night in hospital, he'd still come back the next day and clean me up. So maybe it's where I got my speed from. I just did a lot of running away from him when I was younger, and now that I look back at it and see him now, we haven't squared off for a while. So
Last time you had a big dust up?
Anything
jump to mind?
Just on the golf course before. No, not for a while to be fair. It was good we were living away from each other, so when you actually saw each other for not quite as often, you actually enjoyed spending a bit more time with each other. But this year's been good so far. It's only been 2 months, so all going okay.
You guys are living together as well, so no real tension at home yet?
No tension at home, not yet. He's pretty good around the house. I'm, not too bad around the house too. So he's got his girlfriend there, and everything's going pretty smoothly.
So you can't remember your last dust up? Last time you got squared up?
I remember one. Oh, it would have been maybe that one on the telly. Or there was one actually I remember in Wanaka. He was arguing about he was going to take the boat across to Queenstown and obviously leave me with nothing, and I wasn't having a bar of it. And even next thing he's given me one around the eye.
No
and
shit.
we had to tell I ended up getting a black eye, and turns out I got hit by a cricket ball in the eye. That's the story we told. So apart from that, no, we haven't had too many dust ups. It's been pretty good actually.
Now I wonder if we can get this. If we could get this video, and have you haven't seen this before?
I remember watching it live. I think I haven't seen the replay.
So I just brought this up before, and I've never seen. I remember watching this, but I've never seen this video done before. So we'll just watch it and see, and maybe you can talk us through it afterwards, Joe.
Yeah, get it up.
Gets the ball. Marty comes in, and Damien just tries to scot him in the face.
You've been on the Xbox for ages. It's my turn now. Nah, Mum said 30 minutes. Ha ha. You've been on there way longer than 30 minutes. You've been on there for like an hour. No, haven't you, liar? You're being a dickhead. No, you are.
Is that what happened? Is that what got said?
Very not far off what was said there. Yeah, pretty similar. Actually, Marty's the sort of guy. If you watch a bit of his playing days, he's always got that wee niggle about him, and he's
yeah, he can be a real prick to play against.
We've seen it rear up at training a couple of times.
Yeah.
He's like cheeky
and he's
not afraid to throw out chat or throw out the slice slap to the face and then run away, sort of.
Yeah, and there's a lot of time where there might be niggle between say yourself and the other having a wee dust up, and he'll be on the other side of the field, but yet end of the fight he's the last one to leave it.
Actually, perfect example.
Yeah.
Me in our Taranaki game for Hawke's Bay this year, me and Ricky Riccatelli had a little bit of a handbags at Paces, and there's a photo that our Hawke's Bay photographer took, and it's Swano, and he's got me fish hooked with his finger right in my cheek, and it's like perfect angle, and you can just see him, and he's like giving it to me as well while he's like fish hooked me around to the side. I'll get a hold of it.
Yeah,
and then he runs off.
Yeah,
he's out there.
Yeah, he's in and out pretty quickly.
He's a serial offender for that.
That's
Don't do much. I don't do much of that myself. I'm still just out of that off.
Are you sure?
Well, look, in my younger days.
Hey, I'm pretty sure you've smacked me in the chops before. When we were doing that on the sand dunes, we were doing the line out lifting.
That's
And
right.
remember, the backs versus forwards, and Big Jim comes flying down the sand dune. We were trying to maul up the sand dune.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we tussled out the back
No,
there.
honestly,
Threw me one to the
Yeah,
nose.
he threw one at me.
Oh, okay.
Eyes were closed, and I'm just giving it this one.
I don't know who to believe because I know you're niggly as hell too. So.
Yeah.
That's cool. So Jim grew up in Gore on a farm there. Do you want to talk us through, I suppose, how that's potentially paved your way for your own personality, your work ethic, and how that's contributed to your rugby success?
Yeah, it was, growing up on a farm, had a lot of space, to play around. Rugby posts up in the paddock, kicked the nut around there, and I think the biggest thing I've taken from it is just the work ethic that's led into my rugby career. Early mornings, pulling a couple of cow's tits in the morning, milking. And I think that's led on to my work ethic to have my rugby. I'm really straight and narrow sort of person.
As we heard earlier, when you said you're not interested at the moment, well, you are, but you can be twisted when it comes to females.
And just like keep my hands dirty and just work, put my head in dark places. And I think growing up on the farm has given me a lot of knowledge about the farming industry. So something I'd love to go back to once I finish footy.
What can you tell us about the farming industry? Because I'm not off a farm myself, so what sort of knowledge can you share with me and the listeners out there? What you got?
Look, I only do a day-to-day basis. Get up about 4, get the cows and get the herd in. And a lot of times these days, Brad and Mike is a lot of the milking's done automatically. You sort of just put the cows on, you put your cups on, and then the cups are removed once the cows produce enough milk. A has produced enough milk. B, maybe the other's not full today, so she'll go back to the paddock and refill and restock and back the next day. 2 milkings a day generally. Look, Gore, she don't want Gore too far. Breaking Gores. And a lot of it's a little bit knowledge, a lot of it's attitude as well. So the attitude to get out there and just work.
So it's a family business down there?
Yeah, a couple of generations now, and Mum and Dad are off the farm, got a manager down there, a couple of Filipinos who got a great work ethic. Whether they learned that from my father or myself, I'm not sure. I'll have to ask them. Like I said, it'd be nice to, I kind of like that farming life, especially growing up as a kid, and I think for your kids as well, it's good for them to have a bit of space where they can play around, do what they want.
You think you look back to end in Gore, return to Gore and settle down, nest down there with this lady we find you from our application process?
Look, Gore's, I enjoy home, Southland's home, will always be home. And look, can't put on vivid that I'll be living back down there, but as a place I enjoy going back to, brings me back to my roots, and it's a lovely part of the country. If you ever want to go visit, let me know.
I will.
Come visit the farm, show you a few things.
We'll take you out to the smelter down there.
Yeah, I've heard it's a real good attraction down there actually. I've heard good things about the smelter.
A real hotspot.
Yeah.
Yes,
very hot.
actually, unintended, but thanks.
Jim, your nicknames in your family are very prominent. So your nickname's Big Jim. Your brother Marty's nickname's Swan. You got your father Brent, whose nickname's Budgie, and your mother Moana, called Stumpy. Can you talk us through the origin of, first and foremost, of Big Jim, because it's a bit out there. Where did it come from?
Look, I'm going to be completely honest with you, Brad. It doesn't really come from anywhere. My nana, when I was younger, used to call me Jimmy Whistle for some reason. I don't know who Jimmy Whistle is, but and then obviously later on, so they used to call me Jimmy Whistle, and then Big, because I'm not big. Ironically, so I think that's where that come from. Swan, I think he hasn't had it his whole life. I think it was after Logan Swan, the league player.
Yeah.
Well, it was always because he's like swanning around. He's just like, have you heard that term? You're just swanning around, you're just floating about.
He's pretty crazy. Yeah. I think that's where that come from. Budge, he's had that for a long time. They used to call him Budgie. I to be honest don't know. And Stumpy, I don't know where that come from. I don't know. The nicknames, there's a lot of nicknames in my family, and mainly that my father gives that have no meaning whatsoever.
Yeah, because getting to know your parents over the last few years, you Mackenzies have got your funny wee sayings, don't you? Like, where does that come from? Is that from the farm, or like you talk, I remember you saying couldn't kick a sausage off a greasy plate when you had a shit kicking performance. Where does all this stuff come from? Does Budgie just come up with that? Like, is it just witty?
Yeah, some say top 2 inches. No, like if you actually go down to Southland, like you know, if you haven't been down there, you think there's like a different accent down there. The R, when they roll the R's, is very prominent. And then they've just got sayings that are a bit different, and what you grow up with, and then it's just quite hard case. Some of the sayings you just, if you haven't heard them before, you're sort of scratching your head and thinking, what's he talking about? But
So it'll be good when the internet gets down there and we'll be able to hear them, see videos of those guys doing those sayings. That'll be great.
It is developing. It's a beautiful part of the country, I tell you.
Actually, one nickname that I actually only found out, I've never heard anyone call you until I was doing a bit of research for the podcast and trawling the internet for comments on you. Mighty Mouse. Have you heard that one before? I saw this constantly, Mighty Mouse. We're calling you Mighty Mouse.
No, I haven't actually. No, I haven't. No, I haven't really heard that one. Mighty Mouse.
Someone's just made that one up.
Yeah.
It's not a bad one, to be fair.
Mighty Mouse. What would you do? Puny Mouse.
Watch yourself, Slim. I'm hosting this, mate, not you. So I can.
Sorry, sir.
What was the saying you said in the leaders meeting yesterday? What was that one? Birds of
like if you've got a lot of people talking, like budgies, they always chirping, talking bird language or whatever, and so you can imagine him talking. You imagine when you have a few beers and you, as a human, you're just constantly talking, generally.
Yeah.
So you imagine a couple of buddies having a couple of units in the trees and be like an orchestra up there, right?
It's what was the saying?
Yeah, what was the saying?
Oh, sorry. So we had units meeting, backs meeting, and there's a lot of conversation going on, and I just sort of related to, we're like a bunch of piss budgies up in a tree talking. So
Jim, so a lot gets talked about your goal kicking routine and the way that you smile at the camera or you smile at the post or whatever. That question gets brought up to me all the time when people asking, like, what's up with Mackenzie's smile? So can you just tell everybody exactly what's up so that I never get that question again?
Yes, certainly, Brad. Look, it was about 2014, 2015. Again, couldn't kick a sausage off a greasy plate, so I had to make a few adjustments, a few changes, and our good mate David McKenzie and the mental skills coach come up with the idea of maybe doing something a little bit different, help myself relax, and then we've ended up coming across with the smiling after you have a kick or during your kick, and to be fair, it's get a bit of slack for it, but I guess something different as long as you can get the kick to go over. I guess it doesn't matter what you do. I think so.
So it's like you're going to your happy place.
Yeah, finding your happy place.
So you and I are massive Happy Gilmore fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
So did that come into it? Is that what you're thinking? Are you thinking of the little? You're thinking Chubbs playing on the piano. You're thinking about Grandma winning the lotto.
Yeah, it's I visualise that occasionally. Visualise that, and then obviously the old one. Happy tries to find his happy place and stuff shit turns south. Shooter McGavin's teeing off on his girlfriend, and so I generally try to find that happy place and try and take that happy place through to the kick, and hopefully it goes over the black dot.
I'm talking about the kick.
There he is, the diva.
We've had the pleasure of having Stephen Donald in our team the last couple of years, and you two have obviously grown pretty tight. What sort of influences Beav had over you the last few years?
Yeah, old Stephen. To be honest, when I first went to work out in Hamilton, not knowing Beaver at all, and thought, okay, this was, I don't know what to expect. Just a crazy sort of fellow, and he's very down to earth fellow, and actually got along with House on Fire to be fair with him. And he's been good for myself, just sort of mainly on the field. Off the field, he's a couple of tendencies which could train tracks just flip 90 degrees at times. So, but yeah, he's pretty good actually. I've really enjoyed him, and now we've got a wee business going on. And we're
Wanted to plug that in?
NZ, yeah. Have a look.
Sorry, what was that for the listeners?
Oh,
The
sorry.
yearly business on the side?
Yeah, it's the wee business outside of the footy, you know. Recovery pumps, recovery is paramount.
Is this just for your average Saturday club rugby footballer player? Right there? Or is this probably your more top end athlete?
I guess, you know, some people believe in it, some people don't. It's sort of a compression garment, which a lot of top athletes use. They're not cheap, but reasonable. Like we try.
But you'll look to give a discount to the listeners, wouldn't you?
Yeah, use promo code Damien 15.
Use promo code, yeah.
So no discount available.
So what are they though? Like, are they, so they're called recovery pumps.
Yeah.
But what are they?
So they're like a boot, such thing, which goes up your leg from your foot to your top of your thigh.
Yeah.
And what they're designed to do is compress and tighten. So probably similar to wearing a set of calves or skins.
Yeah.
Except they're a lot tighter, and put them on for maybe 40 minutes, hour, however long you want to. And yeah, some people enjoy them, and what they're supposed to do is just compress your muscles, increase blood flow to the muscles, so they can recover quicker. So yeah, like I swear by them, to be fair.
As you would as the main stakeholder in New Zealand.
Yeah. So
to be fair, you're pretty a resilient player. I don't think you've missed many super games through injury, touch wood.
yeah. No, I've been quite lucky, to be fair, with injuries, so yeah.
We'll stop it there, otherwise you don't get into that kind of stuff.
But I've had a run on them a couple of times, Damien, and yeah, I can vouch for them too. I think they're quite good. If I had the money, I would buy one. But
speaking of this, a lovely house we're in. Who owns this thing?
The bank.
The BNZ does at the moment.
It's just for you listeners out there, we're currently in a 6-bedroom house.
Oh,
3
turn
en-suites.
it up.
2 lounges, 2 60 inches on the wall. And the chef's just having a nap.
We'll do an MTV
It's
crib
Brad
style.
Weber's crib.
Little
For
girl.
you listeners out
One
there.
of Jim's many homes.
Yeah, actually talking about that, just talking to you earlier, Jim, you were looking at buying a place in bloody Wanaka. That's millionaire mansion sort of material.
Have you been white baiting? Have you seen Beaver's stand? Not a bit like that, just a wee shack, just a humble wee shack, so then I can go home, have my wee alone time. They reckon it might be a couple of grand, so. Always looking for investments, Mr. Weber.
You got to set yourself up for the future. A bit of passive income is always nice.
What a passive income.
Smarter than you look, man.
Is this freehold?
Hell no.
Okay. That's not what I heard.
No, I'm up to my ears in debt, boy. Straight up, I'm struggling. I'm paced.
He's still running the humble
The
Mondeo
best,
out there. He's
yeah.
had since day one, mate. You're in the Mustang.
Well, I've had that V6 2002 Mondeo since 2013, and it's done in 200,000 Ks. I bought it for $7.5 grand. Beauty. Smart investment.
Yeah.
Jimbo, we've got a couple of quick fire questions to shoot your way. First and foremost, Damien, your best feature.
I'll tell you my best feature is probably my slow.
Actually, that's a great point because I really wanted to bring this up. So, what's going on your top lip, mate?
Yeah, it's the wee slow, just grown. Self-inflicted, just on the other day, just a new feature on my
How long you
on
been?
this lid.
How long you been growing it for?
3 days.
3 months.
It's
3
been
months.
about a couple of weeks.
That's not true because I saw it after your Scott.
No, it hasn't been grown since November.
Are you sure?
100%. It was about 2 weeks growth.
It's very blonde.
Any
It is.
compliments?
A lot of negative feedback about it.
Is that why you're keeping it more? Like, do you
Yeah,
just
it's just
A big middle finger.
haters gonna hate.
yeah, it's gonna hate it. It's just another challenge, something just to embrace.
Okay.
Yeah, you do you, babe.
Yeah.
All right, back to the quick fire questions. ironically not so quickfire. NZRU's called you up. One super team is going to get cut, and it's your decision. Who goes and why?
New Zealand team?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Be honest.
Good question.
That's a good question.
You're on the clock, mate.
Crusaders, yeah.
Crusaders.
Yeah.
Why?
Just don't like them.
No, it's just a tough one actually. Well, they beat us in the weekend. Come on.
Yeah,
Defending champions going out of the competition.
Yeah, like that's
going
a
to
tough
go down
question
like a
because,
cup of cold
you
soup.
could, that's just, yeah.
All right, that's your opinion though. That's why it's your question. Who's your man crush? Famous or not so famous?
Yeah, I was watching Wolf of Wall Street this morning and Leonardo DiCaprio is a bit of a rooster, eh?
Yeah. He'd treat you good, eh? Like, he'd show you a bit of fun, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a good life. Feel you.
And then spoon, fork, knife. So spoon is your long termer.
Yeah.
Fork's your overnighter, and knife, you're obviously cutting them. You've got Guzzler, so Brodie Retallick, Sam Cane, and the Mexican Anton Leonard Brown.
I'd cut Albie, I could get a few good steaks off him.
So ALB's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Spoon was long term, eh? And
Forks
I'll probably take Guzzler Spoon.
So you're settling down with
Yeah,
Is that the
I'll sit
paycheck
down
that's
with
getting you there?
Yeah, well, yeah.
You reckon
Because you're not doing it for the
I reckon he'd
team.
just treat me real well, eh?
He would, eh?
And I reckon Sammy just fork.
Do you reckon Guz would be like a soft and caressing lover?
Yeah, I reckon he would be.
Yeah, I agree.
I reckon, we haven't seen the deep down inside of Guz sometimes, eh?
Was you reckon Sammy would probably be a bit too dominant for you? Do you
Yeah, I
think?
reckon he would be. Yeah.
You couldn't have that long term,
Nah.
eh?
Nah.
Nah, need it.
No, that's fair, cool.
Yeah, you've done well there. I think I'd go with that too.
And lastly, do you trim your downstairs?
Oh, maintain. There it is. Yeah, okay. Maintain.
Thanks, mate.
Shape it and one on the side, two on top things.
Short
Short
back
back
sides.
Yeah, 1, 2 fade. Nah, just maintain.
So we've brought out a few tweets, Facebook comments, stuff comments that people have written about you, and this is your chance to call them out. So here's your first one. Read that out for the listeners.
Be a tough name to pronounce, I'll be honest. Who's it from? Give us like a from.
This is from A Man Euro Kim Bell
Is it syllables or?
I'm a Nero Kimbola. Damian McKenzie can't play fire half. He's so selfish. He's got one like. Nice. Yeah, look.
We have to say
Own
that.
opinion. He can think what he wants, I guess.
You can shred it if you want, like.
Well, he obviously doesn't play code.
No, he doesn't know what's going on, eh?
Nah, and he's got a cartoon for his profile picture. That's all I've got to say. Hey. Joshua Keys Kumara. Or Kumara, sorry. Oh, that's not a bad comment. D-Mate needs to learn when to run, pass and kick at a 10. Haha. He's still playing as a 15, but yeah, hopefully he does good for the sakes of the Chiefs. Appreciate your feedback, Joshua. It's not, yeah, it's probably smack on, to be fair.
You can come coach us?
Well, he's got to speed down this week, yeah, absolutely. No, I guess he's just, just give him a couple of pointers, take on board, I'll put them in my
In the toolbox.
slip that in the important pocket down the back and work on that tomorrow training.
There's a few other things in that important pocket of yours.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Alright, well I suppose that that brings us to a close for the first episode. So thanks Jim for taking the time out of your obviously very important day and busy schedule to come along and help us out, because pretty much without you there's probably not much going on in this room. Thanks also to Stephen, who's helping us out in the background with sound and a little bit of video there. And then I suppose most importantly, thank you to the listeners. If anyone is out there listening, that's hi mum, hi dad, thanks for listening. But yeah, thanks a lot, and welcome. Give us feedback. Get at us on our Instagram page there, or where else would we?
So you can get at us on Instagram at CodeTrippin. Also, we've got an email set up for any questions, any bits of feedback. That's codetrippingpod@gmail.com. Also, we're
we're in the market for some sponsors if that tickles anyone's fancy. Damien, maybe you'd look to sponsor us with recovery pumps, perhaps.
I'm just putting bread and milk on the table, mate. I'll do that for now and then. No, look, I'll ask Stephen, the recovery pumps owner, see if he can dish out some of his loose change.
Yeah, he's got plenty of it.
He does, mate.
Deep pocket, short arms, that man, though. Also, with that Gmail account and our Instagram, get at us to win a date with Damian McKenzie. Big selling point potentially for us. So, Damo, you could potentially find a wife, and this could be destiny, mate. Do you believe in destiny?
Oh, absolutely.
This could be it, mate.
I appreciate your help too, lads.
No worries. Thanks again, team, and we'll catch you next time. That's Webby and Ellie out. Cheers.
Thanks, mate.